Well then, hello everybody. We will wait for a few minutes more until all the participants are here, so stay tuned for a minute. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me give you a very, very warm welcome to all of you to Hannover Messe 2021, the digital edition. And of course, as well, welcome to the first guided tour of this year's Hannover Messe. I am Bernhard Spitzenberg, and I'm going to be your host for the next hour. Together with my colleagues Yvonne Schulz and Marij Gödecke, I am very happy to see how many participants join us today. We will have about 180 persons logged in, so welcome again to your audience. Our key issue today is Industry 4.0 or Industrial Internet. And indeed, we have two very well-known exhibitors here with us that are going to present you their latest ideas of the future of industry. It is at first SAP. Mr. Lehmann, welcome. Mr. Deindl, welcome as well. It's good to have you here. Welcome. And it is the second ServiceNow.
Du musst dein Ding
Welcome,
nochmal
Mr.
anschalten.
Schulz. It's very good to have you here as well. But before handing over to our first speaker, let me point out some rules for today. First, please mute your microphone.
Okay.
And second, please switch off your camera as well for a better internet connection for all of us. And third, please remember, it is not allowed to do any screenshots or any recordings of this session today. If there is any question that you have for our speakers or for the people that join us, please use our chat function on the right-hand side of your screen. My colleagues and I will keep an eye on it and ask the question for you to the speakers. And one additional hint, one additional tip at this point, if you are interested in getting in contact with one of our speakers or the companies that are presenting today, don't forget to use our business dating service at our platform, hannovermesse.de. Just type in and search for the names of our speakers and arrange an appointment. They are very looking forward to see you via this service. Well then, let's go on and start. I hand over to our first exhibitor, Mr. Lehmann, Mr. Deindl. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Spitzenberger. So welcome actually at the SAP booth, right? The digital version of that. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ralf Lehmann. I'm part of Global Solution Management, responsible for digital manufacturing and Industry 4.0. And with me is?
Hello, my name is Matthias Deindl, and also a very warm welcome from my side. I'm really happy to be here with you. I'm responsible for the so-called Innovation Hub for Industry 4.0 here in Walldorf, and this is exactly where we are standing right now. And what's this all about, you will hear in a couple of minutes.
Great. So as you go away, I take my mask off. Rules are rules somehow. So we'd like to start sharing also some presentations, right? So can you confirm that you see my PowerPoint? You on?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So with this, let me start. So first, great honor to be on the digital tour. So far, the years before, I was proud to welcome you actually at the border of our booth at Hannover Fair Live and Real. We didn't know how cool this was. Now, only having the digital possibilities that we have. But we still have the board of the booth. And with this, we're happy to take you through to what is our showcase in this space. So let me start. SAP, big digital company in this space, not only targeting for shop floor activities coming really from the overall enterprise area. And as we talk with Industry 4.0, actually, we talk about a much bigger holistic picture. We do have a motto for Hannover Fair. Our motto is actually increasing resilience for operational excellence. And actually, this is covering all kinds of solutions that we have along the value stream. Means, first point, become agile, much more agile. We need to have the sense capabilities, predict. Actually, I think we do have a problem with the sharing of the screen. Agility to sense, predict the information, and to react to all these kind of disruption. And when I say disruption, this is the typical word that we do have for all the things which are happening these days in our planet. Then increase productivity, key thing. This is where Industry 4.0 comes in the game to really live this digital transformation. Also in the shop floor, for us, it's also the interoperability in order to combine the customer with the actors and sensors actually in the shop floor. Third, improve connectivity. And also here, we're not only talking and focusing to the actors and sensors on the automation layer and the machine and the resources. We think here in the network, connect with our business partners in order to have a much better working ecosystem environment in this case. And last but not least, one of the most important topics these days, run sustainability and actually leverage here best practices with that. And all this is something that we are referring to in the agenda for the week, right? I know week has started. You may have seen one or the other slots. You may have not yet seen the other slots which are there. And we'd like to give you a short hint what is going to come in there. We are here on Tuesday agenda topics, right? There's much more to come on the Wednesday and the Thursday. And one important thing, it's not SAP that actually is spraying the information about the solutions. We let our customers talk, right? Our customers should tell in their different scenarios how they empower their digital supply chain, their manufacturing execution system with SAP solutions on top of that, right? Before we jump into what we have in my background, where actually Dr. Deindl takes over, we'd like to show you a little bit more of the capabilities that we've been working on in order to, hang on, I have to just swap the application. go back here. I'd like to go to this page that you hopefully can see. And actually, we have been using the time of the pandemic lockdown in order to everything that we have built physically here, we put into a digital environment. And let's get started. All this is free, available. You can directly dive into that and enjoy the experience. On the upper left, we see Industry 4.0, everything that is related to what Industry 4.0 for SAP is, right? And that you can really breathe in. On the upper right, it's now. What can I do now? Which offerings does SAP have? What can I leverage? And then you may either belong to a discrete industries or process industry scenario. And this is actually where you can dive in and really consume the holistic approach that we're leveraging from design through plan, manufacture, deliver down to the operational part of that, right? And as I show you these capabilities, right, you can navigate through that from the different design phases. And let me go to the manufacturing one. I directly go here and then explore this. And actually you see all the different kinds of scenarios. And if I jump, for example, into the final assembly, everything is in here. You can scroll down the capabilities and consume all this experience. This is about text explaining. This is about screenshots in other steps. This is about videos. And it's also about a 360 degrees view so that you can walk by your own way through these capabilities. All this is there. You can start using it now, today, right? And with this, actually, we jump back to the PowerPoint. And oops. And with this, I hand over to my masked colleague, Dr. Deindl. Thank you for now.
Thank you very much, Ralph. So, as I said, we are here in the middle of the Industry 4.0 hub. What's the hub all about? It's about making Industry 4.0 tangible and to visualize what are the high-value use cases in digitization of manufacturing and supply chain. So, and as Ralph already said, it's really a pity that we cannot meet each other at Hannover Fair, in Hanover, or after that here in Walldorf. And this is exactly the reason why we invested decisively into bringing everything, the experience, to your home office, to your couch, or wherever you're sitting. So we have this showcase here to really to show the physical material flow and dedicated slots where we show the process industries, the end-to-end process for process industries, and also the end-to-end scenario for discrete manufacturing. And as I said, so we have a technology with MS Teams live event. We can stream everything in high resolution, even higher than right now. And we can also include the screens that we are operating. So you see everything, you hear everything, and you can also ask directly questions because we have a chat here, and we are more than happy to have in the deep dive the possibility to really answer your questions to your problems. So, and also, I may give you a short look behind the scenes. So this is our streaming deck. This is where everything is controlled and where we stream out the showcase shop floor webcam, but also the different monitors. Okay, so this is everything that I wanted to show you. So you're more than welcome to join us into the sessions. And as you can see on the slide, we have integrated a QR code that you can just scan in order to register yourself right away. And it's not only us from the Hub team, but it's also a lot of different experts that will join from product management, for example, to answer your questions. We're happy to know more of what is really interesting for you and to show what's the latest and greatest. Thank you very much for your attention, and yeah, we are happy to hear your questions. Thank you.
Perfect. Mr. Lehmann, Mr. Deindl, thank you very much for your presentation. And indeed, there is one question that I would like to ask. You mentioned that meeting personally in these days is a bit difficult. Well, indeed, Hannover Messe can't be in the way that we used to be. But is there even in these days any chance to see your showcase live, maybe at your office? Is it possible?
Yeah, very, very good question. So we have different possibilities. You can join us on site. Of course, we have strict rules, hygienic rules that we need to follow, which limits the amount of persons that can be here physically. However, this is possible. And it's also possible that we have one-to-one sessions where we are on site and the customers join remotely in the live session, in the web session. And in our experience, we have had this since September more than 50 times here in Waldorf. It's the feedback of the customers are quite positive because they can really engage into the discussions as if they were on site. So those are the two possibilities that are now available more or less in the pandemic times.
Perfect. Sounds great. Yeah. Okay. So it is even possible, if I understood you right, to see your showcase integrated in a customer field or in a customer showcase example, right?
Those parts that we show are really parts from real customer examples, and sometimes also customers are joining our sessions to give insights into their experience with implementation. But maybe you can add something here.
Yeah, it's a very good point. So actually, these are not scenarios that actually we think are the valid ones that customers should do. Actually, it's exactly the opposite. With our field services colleagues, which are constantly, day by day, out at the customers where we are running projects, and we have a very good insight to the newest and greatest Industry 4.0 scenarios that customers are looking for. And this is actually what we brought into this showcase. So everything, and what we have here is just a discrete scenario. We have another building where we have the process industry scenario, right? We have 2 slots also later on as a follow-up. There we have exactly the key processes that the value stream from our customers do represent. Obviously, we don't have all the products that customers produce. This is not the topic as such, but the business need, the technology, how to execute, how to connect, this is exactly taken from the customer projects that we are running day by day.
Perfect. Perfect. That sounds great. Yeah, well then, thank you so much, Mr. Lehmann, Mr. Deindl, for your presentation, for this deep insight in what you are going to present here at Hannover Messe this year. I wish you all the best. Good luck for a good show, and I hope we can see again next year in much more personal conditions.
Would be perfect. Thank you, guys,
for having us.
Working hard on it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, well then, dear audience, this was the first one, SAP, and I will now go over to our second participant today, to our second exhibitor today, ServiceNow. Yeah, Mr. Schön is joining us today, and we are going to give him the chance to present his presentation.
That would be perfect.
Yes, just a minute.
Yep,
and
that's me.
Here it is.
That's me. So
yes,
thank you for the
Mr. Schön,
handover.
the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, also a warm welcome from my side. It's definitely hard to compete a real environment, as we saw in the couple of minutes before. It's I present this from my home office, so close to my home office. It is also a kind of workplace, but it's had nothing to do with Industry 4.0. So my topic today is in the context of Industry 4.0, the art of possible. So I would like to give you some ideas how to optimize your business in exactly this context. And I would like to start with a kind of definition. We all know this, but I exactly want to pick up this well-known issue or topic. So Industry 4.0 is about automation. And it's about connecting different devices together, not only on the shop floor management area, it's also between customers and the enterprises, and as well as for the suppliers, so the whole value chain. But it's coming from, and in most cases, it's an interesting pitch to have a kind of machine-to-machine communication, Internet of Things, to do what? To increase the automation for a stable and resilient workflow, value chain, whatever you mean. So this is Industry 4.0. It's a huge topic, and I would like to show you how to get some benefits out of this. Before we come to benefits, there is still maybe in some areas not the, let me say, the perfect world existing. So I don't know how this looks like in your enterprise, in your environment. We still have, or we find out that we still have some disconnected systems around the Internet 4.0 environment, or for the whole enterprise, of course. Disconnect mean nothing wrong. We have a lot of IT systems up and running, but they don't talk to each other. That's one issue, and still it's an issue, and maybe a big issue. It's a gap. Poor user experience. Well, different direction, but maybe you have an old-scaled software environment. Maybe you don't invest in as much as possible in training and education for your staff. So this is a kind of being more, or the advice being more digital literate to use the power of your users and of your employees. Lack of agile tools, of course, yes. In some areas, it's maybe not existing right now. And in addition to this, maybe the missing mindset and the culture of this. So it's not negative on this point. It's just an investigation we have seen across our companies and our customers. And of course, some manual or siloed processes have nothing to do with connected. So this is the upper side, or the other side of the coin when we talk about Industry 4.0. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just a fact. This is a quick example how to bring it down to a, let me say, to a manufacturing shop floor environment. This is, as you can see on the left-hand side, an image of an integrated, connected manufacturing plant or manufacturing machine park. It's a production line. It's not of interest what kind of production, what kind of products they produce, but it's similar to, they are connected, they talk to each other, machine to machine, and they communicate some things across the dashboard. You see traffic light symbols, green is okay, red is not okay. So it's a snapshot of a situation. It's a highly integrated view. On the right-hand side, you see the different sources, the different areas where the possible data you need to get that kind of picture are stored and located. It's coming from IT, from sensor data. There are different data sources where the data are located. Classical databases, data warehouses, data lakes. There are some transactional data coming out from MES, SAP, ERP, and in some cases still existing mainframe. So, and on top of this, maybe you analyze and you dashboard some of those examples by analyzing data and using clever algorithms. But in all these different scenarios, you can produce that kind of view, of course, but it's still depending on what kind of source and what kind of, I call it, silo you are looking at. And this is one experience we see a lot in our conversations with our customers, that they are definitely well educated in using all those technologies, and they're highly educated in getting closer to the idea of internet connections and Industry 4.0, but there are still a lot of silos in terms of systems up and running. And this is just nothing bad with this, it's okay. But how cool at the end could this be if you give them a little bit more fluent and a little bit more workflow, a little bit more agile-driven purpose to achieve a certain outcome across the different areas, across the different systems, and of course, dedicated with the interaction with your employees. And this again, a quick example to the previous slides. So you invest a lot in technology, and that's good. You have IoT data and data sources, whatever kind of things you stored it. And this is good. It's your zoo, and everyone has his IT zoo, a little bit more, a little bit less. It's optimized, it's good, and it's necessary to run your business. Nothing wrong with this. The next level to achieve definitely a higher outcome, and maybe hopefully an interesting outcome, to be more resilient, to be faster in answers, to be more accurate in your behavior, how to interact with the systems, how to interact based on problems, is the process level. If you achieve this kind of level to glue all the different data from the different technology stacks in a kind of flow, call it automation, call it workflow, that's then brings the systems alive and definitely brings you closer to the needs of your customers, your suppliers, and of course your employees. And that's the third level of employee. So technology, process, and people, these three areas are interesting. You can use your existing technology, you build some new processes, and of course you train, you educate, and you bring your people and your employees in a completely different level once you finalize this. And coming up with I promise my last slide for this is, and we need a little bit more time to spend on here, is that's our platform. It's called the Now platform. It's a workflow platform to make this example I described the minutes before really live and tangible. Undependingly what kind of systems are running in your enterprise, undependingly what kind of workflow you are aiming for. It's definitely depending on the most relevant use cases you are facing with. It could be in the IT, it could be also a kind of HR employee, it could be customer, or of course the Industry 4.0 area. So use your existing environment. It could be ERP, MES, whatever kind of PLM system, you name it. It depends on at the end on the dedicated workflow or use case behind, and then you can build up very easily a robust workflow to convince and to integrate systems plus human beings plus maybe some automated interaction with the other systems. So build up a kind of scenario, a kind of life scenario to get to bring down the silos, to connect the different silos for an integrated workflow, a digital workflow. And this is my biggest recommendation to you. If you have further questions, please go to our website, ask me in the Hannover Fair podium or whatever kind of environment we can connect to. There are so many interesting things we can talk about, and we can definitely identify very soon where the best starting point is to identify and to showcase your personal best-in-class workflow. I guess this was my last slide, and I have to say thank you for the participation, and hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Schön, for your presentation. Indeed, I would like to ask one question, and coming back to the issue of agility. What do you think? What is the biggest challenge in modern industries? Is it to find or having proper agile tools, or is it more to find and to implement the correct agile mindset within the employees? What do you think?
Thank you. That's a good question. In my personal experience, it's I would say 50-50.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more on the culture and mindset type of thing. If a certain industry or company is very used to do it in a kind of waterfall approach, a very long-lasting theoretical, I have to describe it and then I have to implement it way, that's first of all to change this kind of mindset and then to bring the tools up and running. If the industry is closer to that kind of agile topic, then maybe the one or the other tool is accelerate the pace. So it's hard to say yes or no. It's both-sided. It's easy to buy a tool and then to say I'm agile. It's also very important to educate your staff, your culture, and your mindset.
Okay. If I got you right, it is your part to be a kind of consultant consulting for me if I'm going to go step by step forward. Is this like an overall consulting, or are you specialized on special issues within this topic of industrialization in the Industry 4.0?
Well, first of all, it's in all cases it's a customer case, and the customer knows his business as perfect as it be. We are just the ones who qualify, questionnaire this kind of process, the environment, and then bring our tool and our platform up and running. And then it's a kind of iteration. We understand the first idea how to set this up, then we showcase it, and then it's a kind of iteration, a kind of agile, how to interact with the customer. We are not the ones who know all the answers for this world. It's a combination, a very deep conversation between our customers, our involved partners, and ourselves.
Okay, got it. Then we have a question from the audience, Mr. Schön, if you would like to answer. The question is if the platform is usable for every sector, for every type of business, or is it just for a special part of them?
No, it's it's dedicated for the whole value chain in your enterprise. It's perfectly usable for the topic we talked about in the context of Industry 4.0. It depends on the specific use case, of course, to make it tangible. But if you have an optimization piece in HR, in sales, in marketing, in the customer conversation, it's a tool, it's a platform. You can use it as a toolbox, and you say, okay, I know this. We have also predefined workflows for HR, for customer interactions, and for supplier interactions. If these are reusable for this specific situation, cool. If not, we are then in the discussion with the customer and bring it down to a first scenario.
Okay, so this means you are not specialized only on, I don't know, the automobile sector or the industrial sector. It's for every sector, and it depends on the special showcase.
Exactly. So we have a strong background and coming from the whole IT management scenario, but we are now very well educated and for behind this type of status. So with this idea of workflow, I will call it the Now platform, we can definitely bring everyone in every department to reuse it and to use it.
Perfect. Well then, Mr. Schön, thank you so much for your presentation. I wish you good luck, all the best for the next days of Hannover Messe. I wish you many contacts and many efforts, and hope you will join your stay here in Hannover Digital.
Yes, I try my best. Thank you.
Perfect. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of our first guided tours here at Hannover Messe Digital Edition. I want to thank you again for your attention. I want to thank our speakers again for their presentations. And now it's up to you. Join in the Hannover Messe platform, hannovermesse.de. Sign in and use all the different possibilities you might have to get in contact with our exhibitors. Again, the special hint, use the business dating service. You will reach via this tool every one of our exhibitors to get in contact via a chat or via a video conference as you like. Thank you again. I wish you all the best and see you next year here in Hannover Messe personally. Thank you so much.